Hey, what's good, YouTube subscribers? How y'all doing tonight? It's your boy NG5 back again with another sports video. And tonight, y'all, we gotta talk boxing. We gotta talk boxing, y'all. We have to talk boxing. There's a big fight going down this weekend. True boxing fans know what I'm talking about. Hardcore boxing fans know what I'm talking about. And the UK boxing fans, y'all know what I'm talking about, man. A big fight going down this weekend, a true rivalry. You know what I mean? Hey, their fathers fought each other a couple of times. Now, this is round 3. It's going down. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Conor Benn versus Chris Eubanks Jr. Come on, man. This is a big fight. You know, to the casual fan, they're probably like, what is this dude talking about? But to real hardcore boxing fans, they know that this is a big fight. And I truly can't wait for this one. You know, there's a lot on the line. You know, family pride, honor, all of that is on the line. They don't want to let their fathers down. You know, I wasn't alive. Well, of course, I wasn't alive. But I wasn't alive to see Chris Eubanks Sr. versus Nigel Benn. They fought 2 times. But I've done my history, man. I watched documentaries on that rivalry right there. A true British rivalry, probably the biggest. If not, it's one of the biggest. And we get to see round 3 this weekend going down live in London this Saturday, y'all. This Saturday. Make sure y'all tune in to the fireworks. And y'all know how we do things around here. I got to give y'all my thoughts, break it down, and give y'all my final fight predictions for Conor Benn versus Chris Eubanks Jr. So let's get straight into it. But before we do, shout out to my sponsorship, W Energy. Y'all already know, man. I say it almost every video. For y'all gym rats out there, we got this. There's this new product, W Energy, man. If y'all love energy drinks, protein shakes, whatever y'all like to do, go ahead and cop this product, man. Y'all trust me, it will not disappoint. And for your first time purchase, y'all can go on their website, use my promo code NG5 Sports and get 20% off. But anyways, you know, shout out W Energy. I appreciate y'all. Hey, let's get straight into it, man. You know, I'm not even from the UK, and I'm hyped up for this fight this weekend. I know what I'm doing Saturday morning, and you know, in the afternoon on Saturday, I know what I'm watching. You know, if you got work, you might want to call off for this one, y'all. Y'all do not want to miss these fireworks. This is a true rivalry. Now, I'm not going to say these two hate each other like how their fathers did, but it's a true rivalry, man. You know, they don't want to let their father down. Both of them. You know, they don't want to let their family down, man. There's a lot of pride and a lot of honor with this one. And this might be bigger than a world title fight. For this instance, you know, when you have a rivalry that goes all the way back, you know, you seen what your father went through, and then you grow up and you become a fighter. Now you have a chance to rewrite history. This is a big fight. But my thoughts on this fight, you know, I truly can't wait. I do think it's gonna be explosive. I think the storyline is there. I think both fighters, like when you look at Chris Eubanks Jr., this might be it for him. You know, him and his father don't really have a good relationship right now, but if he wins this fight, that can change everything for him. He might, you know, if Chris Eubanks Jr. wins this fight, you know, he's 34-3 with 25 knockouts. If he wins this fight, he's going to get a title shot. He might build a better relationship with his father, and it's you know, he's at the end of his prime. You know what I mean? But if he loses this fight, he might retire. And when you look at Conor Benn, he's a younger fighter, probably in the beginning of his prime, 23-0 with 14 knockouts. And the thing is with Conor Benn, he's just getting started. You know, if he loses this fight, like, yeah, that's going to be a letdown to him and his father and stuff. But he still has a career after this. He can go back down to 140, maybe not 147, probably 154. But he can go back down and go fight champions or do what he got to do. So, to me, there's more on the line for Chris Eubanks Jr. Because if he loses this fight, man, I don't even know if he gonna, I don't know if his father gonna talk to him. Who knows? Who knows? I know that Chris Eubanks Sr. was against this fight. He didn't want this to happen. There's probably a lot of trauma that Nigel Benn and Chris Eubanks Sr. went through. But anyways, looking at the sons, looking at Conor Benn and looking at Chris Eubanks Jr., this is a big fight. Now, when I look at this fight, the only thing, well, there's a few things that I worry about. Because when I look at Conor Benn, I know he has power. He's very explosive. He's fast, and he has really good footwork. And he's going to have to use those things to his advantage. Conor Benn, he wants this fight to be on the inside, or he wants this fight to be in the mid-range, or in the pocket, we should say, or in the phone booth. He wants to get on the inside of Eubanks. And, Conor Benn has some explosive punches. The way he works on the inside, the way he goes up top and he goes to the body, he's a dangerous fighter, man. He can end the fight at any time with any type of punch. But when you look at Chris Eubanks Jr., he probably wants this fight to be more on the outside. He's going to want to use his jab, use his uppercuts to catch Conor on the way coming in, because that's a great punch for the bigger man, is to catch the smaller man with the uppercut. So that's going to be a great punch for him, but he's going to want to have to use his jab, keep Conor on the outside, and just take control of the middle of the ring and box until it's time for him to use his size. So when I really look at this fight, I don't know. Like, I think it could go both ways. And honestly, I do think it is a 50-50 fight, but what makes me lean towards Eubanks Jr. is the experience and the size. That's the only thing that I worry about, because Conor Benn, he hasn't really fought nobody like Chris Eubanks Jr. And Eubanks Jr., he's fought world champions before. He's been on that type of level where he's fought experienced good fighters or world champions. And he's the bigger man between the two. So that's what I worry about, is the experience and the size difference. But when you look at Conor Benn, I think he has everything on the inside. Like, he has the spirit, he has the heart, he has the motivation behind this fight. I think he's going to be a tough guy to deal with. And the main key for Conor Benn is conditioning. Can he keep the same pace for 12 rounds? Can he keep that same pace? Because I know he's going to put the pace on Chris Eubanks. That's going to be the key, is to put the pace on him. Put the pace on him. Seek and destroy. Seek and destroy. Everything you touch, you're going to want to destroy it if you're Conor Benn. Can he put the pace on Chris Eubanks? And can he keep that same pace for more than 10 rounds or more than 8 rounds? Can he do it for a 12-round fight? That's going to be the key in this one. And in my opinion, I really think it comes down to the conditioning of Conor Benn. And for Chris Eubanks, you just want to take your time, man. You don't want to take that much damage in the beginning of the fight. You want to establish your jab, show Conor Benn that there's levels to this. And I think the first 6 rounds, if I'm Eubanks, man, I'm jabbing, I'm going to the body, I'm picking my shots, I'm boxing, I'm not taking too many risks. But towards the second half of the fight, that's when you start using your size advantage and start unloading on the smaller Conor Benn. So it's really going to be an interesting fight, man. Will the size be the difference in this, y'all? Will the experience be too much? Will the move to 2 weight classes going up to meet Chris Eubanks at 160, will that be too much for Conor Benn to overcome? Because if they were the same size or the same weight class, I'm going with Conor Benn. Especially the way one fighter is motivated and one fighter seems like he's 1 foot in, he's 1 foot out. But for both of them, this is a huge fight. This is a big payday, and it's a big fight. There's history on the line, and there's rivalry that runs deep in their veins, in their blood. Before they were even born, they were set to be rivals, man. So it's kind of crazy, and I truly can't wait for this fight. I think for Chris Eubanks, the key for him is to keep distance, use the jab, box early, and then try to finish the fight later. And use the body work and keep that counter uppercut right there when the smaller man comes in. And for Conor Benn, you're going to want to put that pressure and put that pace on him. Seek and destroy. Go to his body. Go up top. You want to try to stop this dude And I think the conditioning is going to be the biggest key for Conor Benn. If he's in great shape and he can keep it up for 12 rounds and put that pace and put that pressure on Eubanks, he going to be in trouble. Because ultimately, I'm going to be real. I don't see this fight going to the final bell. I don't see it going to decision. I think someone's going to get knocked out. I think someone's going to get stopped in this fight. There's too much on the line. Somebody's going to get stopped. Somebody's going to get stopped, yo. And I feel like for Conor Benn, if he's in great shape and he can keep that pace and pressure on him, I believe he will stop Chris Eubanks in 8 rounds, or 6. In 6 to 8 rounds, I believe Conor Benn will stop Chris Eubanks Jr. if he's in great shape. But if he's not in great shape, then I see Chris Eubanks Jr. stopping Conor Benn in the 10th or the 11th, somewhere late in the fight. This is gonna be a great fight, man. I do believe Conor Benn has the skills, he has the spirit, he has the heart. But the thing is, going against the bigger man with more experience, that could be a problem. But he's gonna have his father in his corner, and I think that could give him an advantage mentally. Chris Eubanks Jr. knowing that his father won't be there for him, that could be a disadvantage, or it could motivate him to prove his father wrong. Like, bro, I'm that guy. Like, I got you, Dad. Don't worry about it. So we gonna see what happens. And for me, my final prediction on this big fight, I have Conor Benn winning this fight with the 8th round stoppage. I do believe he will win, but also that's a part of me. That's the fan side of me too. I am rooting for Conor Benn to win this fight, but I would not be mad if Chris Eubanks taught him a lesson. And if Chris Eubanks, got himself a title shot after this fight. And I do think Chris Eubanks can win this fight. I think it's a 50-50, but yet it could be 55-45 because of the size and the experience. So that's my biggest thing. Will the size and the experience be too much for Conor Benn? But anyways, y'all, I got Conor Benn winning this fight by stoppage, 8th round knockout, and we will see what happens. I think it's going to be a great fight, y'all. But anyways, make sure y'all tune in. Saturday, it's going down. And don't miss these fireworks, y'all. But make sure y'all like, comment, and share. Let me know who y'all got winning this big fight. And I truly can't wait. But anyways, y'all stay up. And until next time, y'all. Until next time.